Do you think this had something to do with the Angels not trading Ohtani at the trade deadline?
I mean, it's possible. I don't think entirely. I think that whoever's going to own the Angels, Ohtani makes a lot of money for them. And, I think that it's certainly, if he was considering selling the team, he probably would want the next owner to really make the decision of where Ohtani's going to go. So I think it's possible that was part of the calculation.
Because that would give the new owner another option, right?
The new owner could decide either you want to trade Ohtani to rebuild in that way, or you want to keep Ohtani and give him a huge contract and, go that way. And then also Ohtani has to decide what he would want to do. And a lot of that would depend on, what kind of promises or what kind of approach the new owner was going to take.
You touched on this a little bit, but how does a major league team usually change when the ownership changes?
I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen either slowly or quickly. The payroll can change dramatically, if the new owner wants to spend more money. But in a lot of cases, the payroll is really based on the revenue and not just based on what the owner feels like spending. And the revenue doesn't necessarily change. I mean, the Angels, have a certain amount of tickets they're going to sell. Those tickets are going to be a certain price. They have a certain TV deal that's already set. So it's not like they can change their revenue really dramatically. So you can't necessarily change the payroll that dramatically. But if an owner just doesn't care about making a profit as much, or maybe he's got other businesses and doesn't mind, taking a loss, all that can change things. And you can just have a different emphasis. For example, if the Angels decided to put a lot more money into the minor leagues than they did before, then that could be a big change in, the fortunes of the franchise.
Could you give an example of maybe a team like the Mets, who suddenly have an owner with a bunch of money to spend, and the team just transformed quickly?
Well, obviously the Mets, under the Wilpon ownership before that, they had some other different legal troubles and financial troubles, so they weren't really spending to the level that you would think a team from New York would spend. And then Steve Cohen bought the team, and all of a sudden he basically had unlimited money to spend, and he spent a lot of it. They got Max Scherzer and they signed him to the richest per year contract in baseball history. And they made a lot of deals very quickly over the winter when he took over last year. So I don't think that necessarily would happen with the Angels, because I think Steve Cohen is more the exception than the rule for most owners. But certainly there could be something different would happen.
Many of our Japanese followers ask this question: will the new owner be obligated to pay existing contract with Anthony Rendon and Mike Trout and others?
Yes, all those contracts are guaranteed with the team. So any new owner would take over all the current contracts.
How will this affect Ohtani?
Well, I think that if there was any chance of Ohtani signing an extension right away in the offseason, I think that's now gone. I think there was a very small chance of that happening in the first place. But now basically it's not going to happen, because the new owner is basically going to be the one to negotiate any kind of a long-term deal with Ohtani. And that could, happen from, December to maybe next June or July. So we just don't know. I think obviously Ohtani is going to want to see who the owner is and what the owner's plans are before he would make a decision like that. So now he's going to have to wait, at least 4 or 5 months to get that information.
Well, if the sale doesn't go through within a year, then what's going to happen, you think?
Well, I mean, Ohtani is going to be a free agent at the end of the 23 season, no matter what. So if Artie Moreno still owns the team in November of 2023, then Ohtani would just have to decide, if he wants to take a chance and stay with the Angels, or if he's going to go somewhere else. So I think that would be a really worst case scenario for the Angels, to not have new ownership in place by November of 2023. So I don't think we would get to that scenario. But if we do, that would probably eliminate the chances of Ohtani staying with the Angels.
So you would think this deal could go through fairly quickly.
I mean, it's hard to say. It really depends on so many other factors that we don't know about. Sometimes these deals go quickly and sometimes they don't. So until we know like who's bidding and what the different things are that they're interested in, we don't know how quickly it's going to go. I think the Angels would love to have it done, December, January, but it's just hard to say if that's going to happen or not.
So there's no chance of Ohtani either signing long-term contract or being traded this offseason.
I would say it's a small chance, but not likely. I think that most likely the new owner would make that decision.
Given this news, have the chances of Ohtani staying with the Angels next season or after 2023 increased or decreased?
I would say they probably increased a little bit because there is a chance that a new owner wants to spend more money than Artie Moreno has spent, and in which case that could give Ohtani more hope that the team can win. I think that, if Ohtani, all things being equal, I think Ohtani would like to stay where he's comfortable in the place he's been, but he wants to win. So getting a new owner in that would help them win, I think certainly helps. But it's hard to say. I think there's more chance of a new owner coming in and wanting to spend a little more than coming in and spending less. I think that probably it does increase the chances of Ohtani staying long term, but it's really hard to say this early.
Why do you think the new owner will probably spend more than Artie Moreno?
Well, I mean, it's just a big market, and they certainly make lots of money. I think that Artie Moreno has been pretty cautious with his payroll as far as keeping it in line with the revenue and really wanting to make sure he had a profit. I don't know that exactly. I haven't seen the numbers, but that's my sense. And another owner might be a little less interested in that, especially a new owner who really wants to come in and win right away and make an impression.
Any idea who will buy the team or who might be interested?
No, I have no idea. People all like to speculate just about other people that own teams, just because those are the people they know. But I think it's pretty unusual for somebody to own more than one team. So you can't just say, oh, Steve Ballmer, he owns the Clippers and he's in LA and he's got lots of money, so he should buy the Angels. He already has a team. So I don't think anybody should assume that he wants a second one. There are about 120 pro teams in the big four major sports. And I want to say there are maybe 5 or 6 owners that own multiple teams in those sports. So for the most part, the most likely scenario is somebody is going to buy the Angels who does not own any other team. So it's not really somebody that we can predict right now.
And here's another great option for Artie Moreno. If we sell 1 billion over our books, we can buy the Angels, right? So if you haven't already, please go to Amazon or your nearest bookstore and buy some copies. I'll put the description down below. Hey, Jeff, if you become the owner, what promise would you make to fans?
Well, I would definitely sign Ohtani, of course, to a long extension, first off. And then I would put a lot more money into the farm system and player development, because that's really the Angels' problem. So those would be the two things I would do, but I'm not counting on it.
All right, fans, if you want to support us, please buy the books. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Tamoya.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future videos. You can also watch our past videos from the description below. Hope to see you again next time.